Hey guys, welcome to my 9th Facebook Live, or I'm probably not going to be able to have these live because my connection is shocking, and as you've just seen, I just tried to do it then, and it just killed it. I was trying to watch it back, and it just wasn't working. So maybe we're going to have to restructure this to me just do the videos and just post them as a normal video. But we'll see how it goes. I'll have a look at it. As I said, this is a very raw channel, a Facebook page that it is to do my journey, and you'll see everything moves forward and improves day by day because it's so raw and it's just me. It's about my learnings every day, and then I curate that into content that you can enjoy, and you join my journey and you get progress out of it and achieve great value as well. So what is today about? This is a really interesting video, and I might sound plump and pucker, that's a weird word, not pucker, I mean chipper, that was the word I was trying to find. I may sound chipper, but I'm very far from it. I'm actually hungover. I went out last night, I went to a networking event that we do every month, and I hadn't been in Manchester a long time. I know Manchester's a great city, I love it. I went there 5 years as a student, so saw some friends, and obviously you're going to have a drink. Did that? No. Just felt terrible today. So we're going to go into the reasons to why you should not do it in the weekday, why you should not do it in the weekday, and the effects it will have on your work, and the negative effects, the detrimental effects it could have on your business and the future of your business. So stay tuned and let's get into it. Welcome back. I hope you enjoy that. That's my new little intro video. I hope you enjoy that. So let's dive right into it. So as you know, guys, I like to give some background to the video before diving into it. So I got my facts, I got my statistics so we could do it. So what are my facts for this one? So obviously it's don't drink on a weekday, okay? So this is some interesting facts. Some surprised me actually. These are all sourced from a article called Sobur, funnily enough. And basically, so the first one is, sources indicate that more than 75% of the workforce arrives at work hungover at some time or another. So at some time in having an employee, 75% of your employees are going to turn up hungover in your workplace. I mean, that's kind of, it might sound quite funny, but as the person who's at the top of that business, that's quite scary because you're paying them every day. The pay doesn't change day by day. You pay them the same amount every day for them to achieve their work and to do it to the best abilities and to see to the customer. Because no matter what business you're in, what products or services, it's always seeing to someone's needs. So there's always some sort of customer interaction or some aspect of customer service. So that's where it's going to be the sort of the scary process if you're drinking through the day, and how it could have a detrimental effect if you were to, I don't know, say something wrong or just not be as passionate about your work to a customer, because first impressions mean a lot, especially with customers. So it is very important that we understand how this may affect us at work and sort of the science behind it. Another interesting thing, apparently, losing money to hangovers is said to cost businesses £48,000 per minute. £48,000 per minute is lost. That's in a whole of businesses in the world is lost in a minute because people are hungover. Oh, I hope I haven't lost even 2% of that for my business. I really hope I haven't, because I've been hungover today, and for sure I haven't been as productive, I haven't got as much done, and I'll go into that in a minute. So there we go. I may have lost some leads today, and that lies on me at the end of the day, that I've lost those leads, and especially if you're self-employed. I mean, it's so important, especially in the first few years. It's just, you have to be so on it, making sure customers are there, making sure they're happy. Your customer service has to be 100%, 110%, and your service, your product has to be amazing. You have to be really on it. You can't cut corners. Like, so when you come to work and you're a little drunk, or not drunk, but hungover, it just, no matter what you say, you're not going to be 100% productive. You're not going to be as sharp, and that's going to damage your brand, and you could lose opportunities, and you could lose sales, and sales mean money, and money keeps your business going. It keeps you in your job. So It's important, guys. It's a really serious one. It can be funny and it can look funny, but there's some serious repercussions if not taken seriously. So that's why I'm going to talk about it. There's some facts, and like I said, every video is to do what I've learned in the past few days. I've learned this today. Well, obviously I knew that it affects you hungover at work, and I don't choose to do it, but it was a one-off because I went and saw some friends I haven't seen for a long time. But I thought I'd dive into it and let you know sort of why you should not do this and why I'm definitely not going to do it again. Okay, so there's 4 things to this. So number 1, you become less productive. Number 1, you become less productive. I mean, that's probably the most straightforward one, isn't it? It's the easy one to say you become less productive. So I always set out what I do each day, and if you want to know how to do a killer to-do list, go back to, I don't know which video it was, probably Facebook Live 4 or 3, and I tell you how to create a killer to-do list, so definitely go watch that, and that'll give you some understanding on that. But anyway, let's keep to this video. You become less productive. So you're not going to get everything done in your day. You're not going to, whether you think you're going to be fully productive or not, you're not going to be. You're not going to get all your work done. You're not going to get all your tasks done that you set up. And again, like I was just discussing, it's going to have a knock-on effect of losing leads, losing customers, maybe not making as much sales. And that, you've got to understand, this has repercussions on other people. Because if you work in a team, it doesn't just lie on you, it lies on everyone. You may have different roles, but you're all pushing for the same goal. You're pushing to grow the company, to gain more sales, and whatever it is, your cog in that machine might be slightly different, whether it's to purely get more sales, or whether it's to purely build the brand, or build a customer relationship. It all comes to the end goal. You're all working as a team. So if one person is not playing in that team and not being productive, then it's a knock-on effect and damages, even though they may have worked 110% that day, it damages their work because you aren't pulling your weight. So you have to understand it has a knock-on effect with other people you're working with, and obviously that's going to damage your relationships and obviously not be good to push yourself forward in your career path and in your business through relationships. So it really does make you less productive, and I've definitely seen that today. So like I was going to go to an exhibition today. I was supposed to be there all day. It's called Brand Yorkshire, really cool event. Never been to it before until today. I was supposed to go there from 8:30 to 5 o'clock. I was there for 3 hours. Like I didn't go for the whole time because I woke up about. I tried to wake up at 7, I just felt awful. Like, I was just like, if I go to this, like, I'm probably going to get judged more on being there stinking of alcohol rather than going 5 hours later and feeling a bit more fresh. I didn't really feel much fresher, but still, you know what I mean. So, but it wasn't good, that's damage. I may have lost leads from that. I've lost networking opportunities. I may have lost, I honestly believe that if you're working really hard to a goal, that things happen for a reason based on your efforts, and you never know. My calling could have been in there, could have been there. You never know. I could have met someone that could have changed my business. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but you have to know it's serious stuff. Because when you're pushing yourself, and when you start winning in business, and when you really start pushing yourself, doors start to open, people start to talk, you get talked about. So you'd be surprised how and that's the power of networking. When I was discussing it yesterday, that if I went there, I might have just networked with, I could have networked with 100 people, and not one would have been that useful to me, but I would have still gained knowledge from them, but then that one could have just been killer and be like, we need to go into business together, or I've got this, and it'll just make your life easier. You never know, guys. That's the love and art of networking, is it just creeps up on you and gives you some amazing opportunities, with people usually just on your doorstep, and you never knew it. So that is why it's so important. So yeah, it affected your productivity. That was number 1. Number 2, it decreases your willingness. I'm struggling with these words today, aren't I? Probably because I'm hungover. Number 2, decrease your willingness to complete every task. So it decreases your willingness to complete every task. So like I said, I had a bunch of tasks to do today. They didn't all get done. Yeah, they didn't all get done. I got a few of the main ones done, but there were a few big ones that I didn't get done, and they need to get done. Like, and now that's affected me. That affects my position. That affects how people value me in the business. That affects the customer's relationship if I don't respond as quick on customer service. It's such more of a bomb effect of negativity, if you will, than you think. It's not just, oh, it's cool, I'll push it for the next day, which I'm gonna have to do with some of these things, because it's serious, guys. It really is going to have a knock-on effect. Remember, first impressions last a lifetime. You can never have a first impression again. So if we had 5 new customers or whatever it is that came to our website today and or was asking us questions on social media and I didn't respond to them quickly enough, then that's affected our brand. That's 5 people who could have lost. So it really is important you know this, and it decreases... Going back to what I was saying, to decrease your willingness to... Yeah, so that was what I was explaining, is it decreases your willingness to complete every task. So, which is very integrated with productivity. So you become less productive and you decreases your willingness to complete every task, is number 2. Number 3, you are less focused. Now, I think this is a really interesting one. This is interesting because this ties deeply with attention. I'm definitely going to do a video on attention span because this subject fascinates me. Especially, I'm sure you would have seen the tweet or post a few weeks ago that we as humans now have a worse attention span than goldfish. Like, that is a fact. The goldfish have 9 seconds, on average have a 9 seconds attention span. We as humans have 8. Okay, that is a fact. So, I mean, it's a bit of a scary thing to think about that. So, attention is such a big thing, and staying focused in business and making sure you complete each task. You have to be focused, especially for me. I work at home. I work remotely. Now, that makes it harder. I'm not trying to say I work at it. It's just that it's harder, you know what I mean? Like, when you're in a workplace, at least you're around people, and then you're energized and you're encouraged to work because you're in a workplace and there's people working around you and everyone's doing their job, so you're going to pull your weight. With me, if I don't get up, no one gets me up. If I don't come down here and sit and make sure I'm sat at the table by 9 o'clock on my laptop, seeing to my emails, no one's going to stop. No one's going to tell me to do it. It always lands on me because I'm here on my own. I have a family that work, but they do other things. No one's forcing me to do anything. It's all on me. So it's a bit of a scary process. So, especially in my role, I have to be ultra focused every day. Like, I have to be laser focused. There's no sort of... Yes, failure happens. It's gonna happen. Accept it, guys. And again, go watch that video about failure. It was amazing. The echoing was annoying with the mic, but I'll redo it at some point. But anyway, go watch that. It's amazing. So being laser focused is so important, and I have to be that, and every startup does, and you should be in the business as well to make sure you get everything done. And it so affects your focus and your attention span I just find myself monkey jumping. That's a saying I have. You're just jumping between tasks constantly. And it's just so bad to do that, because when you're jumping between tasks, you've just got your hands in loads of things. Nothing gets done. So you have to understand it really affects your attention span and focus, especially if you're in meetings as well. And first day of the morning. First start of the morning at the day, guys. At the start of the day, you're gonna have to be focused, and you have to obviously take notes. They might ask you questions. You might have to have a one-to-one meeting, and if you're not focused in meetings, you'll get caught out like that. Because when you're face to face, there's no lying. They can see it on your face in 2 seconds. They can see if you're not concentrating. So it's so important with getting tasks done is being focused. So that is another big thing as well, as you're less focused. Number 4, it's harder to be creative and think on the spot. Harder to be creative and think on the spot. This is probably the one I struggle with the most. Well, I said probably being focused was the hardest one. But in regards to the thinking on the spot, because, again, being involved with startups and being on your own a lot of the time and it's a lot on your own initiative. Like, yes, there's systems in place with some things and you learn structures, but the whole point about you're starting your business and you're trying to be different, you have to be innovative a lot. And you get, on a daily basis, I'll have problems that'll come to me, and I've got to be creative with figuring it out. Like, we'll get different sort of problems that aren't the norm, and if you're not quick on your feet and just thinking actively, then it's gonna affect whatever that issue is, especially if it's a very pressing issue. It needs to get sorted now. And if you have worse judgment and you're not as creative, not as quick on the thinking, then it's gonna affect it. I'll give you an example. We have a US mailer going out, so we're doing a mailer. It's going to like 1,000 people in the US. We're doing that. We're mailing that out. Okay. We're redoing the graphics for the letter. It's just going to be like a postcard letter with some graphics, some information, just sort of talking to the customer, giving them discount code and stuff like that. So basically, I was going to pass off the original artwork, but the size was screwed up and everything. So we got it redone, and then it's got redone, and I was going to pass it off today. I was going to pass it off, but I mean, this is going to 1,000 people, and I was convinced to pass it off. And if I'd passed that off, which I was about to do, but then someone brought me up on it because I actually sent it over to get passed off and checked off, and there was mistakes on it. So I mean, well, there wasn't mistakes, but it could have been improved, and I saw that. But because of my sort of not thinking on my feet and making sure that it was properly curated and make sure it had good content on it and make sure it was properly correct to go out for the mailer, that could have a knock-on effect. I mean, that's going to 1,000 people in the US. I mean, that's going to be a lot of money to make sure it's printed and sent out to all those people, and it can be really effective with as if got right. So it didn't necessarily have mistakes with it, but it could have been improved upon, and that's what they brought me up. They said, look, I think it can be improved here, and that's my duty to make sure it's to its best ability. So now we're improving it. But that, I believe that was down to me just sort of, let's just get out, because we've been trying to push this for like a month. The graphic, it's been a bit of a palaver trying to get it done, just because we've had a lot of changeovers recently. So going back to my point, instead of me just rambling on about myself, is it's harder to be creative and think on the spot. And today I had to think on the spot. I had to be like, right, is this good? And really analyse it. And obviously my head wasn't 100%. Whether I say it was or not, it wasn't 100%. Even if you do lots of positive affirmation, a lot of positive mental abilities to help your mental state, which again, there's a lovely video on that. You should go watch that. You still are going to be drained of things in your brain and your body due to drinking. So you're still going to struggle to think creatively and think on the spot, which is so important when you're in business. So those are my 4 points of why you shouldn't drink in the weekday, as well as, I'll throw in the 5th randomly, it just sucks. There we go, the 5th one, it just sucks. You feel awful. Everyone knows what a hangover does. Well, anyone 18 and above will. But yeah, let's go through them. Number 1, you become less productive. Number 2, decreases your willingness to complete every task. Number 3, you are less focused. You've got to be laser focused. And number 4, harder to be creative and think on the spot. And number 5, it sucks. So there's my 4/5 reasons why you should not drink in the weekday. Keep it to the weekends. Keep it for the Friday night. Enjoy it with your friends. Have an awesome time drinking with them, as you should do after a great hard week worth of working. And I know I will. Probably not this week now, since I've had my little drinking session. Maybe next time. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you gained value from that, guys. As always, it was a pleasure. Comment below, DM me any questions or anything, queries, feedback. Please just throw feedback. I'd love to get some feedback. I can improve these. The better these improve, they improve them for me, they improve for you. Everyone wins. It's great. As always, follow me on social media, depending where you're watching this. YouTube is @ScottMears. Twitter is @ScottMears_, and Facebook is @ScottMearsEntrepreneur. Okay, thank you very much, guys. I really appreciated that, and have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow on the next one. See you then, guys. Bye-bye.